Hey, this is Lance of 20-Sided Knife.
And I'm Evan.
And today we're talking about the Character Operations Manual for Starfinder from Paizo Games. You can pick up your copy from either Paizo's website for like $10 for the PDF, or a physical copy from Haster Games. Or you can order it online at hastergames.com. It comes with a lot of cool stuff in it. New race options, themes, classes, equipment.
They also have spells and downtime activities, so you're not just murdering all the time.
Yeah, it's kind of cool how they added that. I really do like it. It gives your character a way to become more of like a fleshed out person.
Mm-hmm. Themes are on page 8 of the new Character Operations Manual. There's 7 of them. They're basically the background of what you were doing, before you decided to become an adventurer, and you pick one at your first level, and you just can't change it. So by picking the athlete theme, you get a bonus to your physical stats. You also get, better at knowledge for, sports-related things. And later on, you do get the ability to utilize your star power to sort of convince someone to sort of do something. It helps you with your persuasion rolls, just because it's like, hey, listen, I'm Michael Jordan. You should give me that yogurt, or something like that. A good example of someone who picked the athlete theme would be like Coltrane.
Oh, you can't keep the cold team down, baby! I'm a force of nature! Whoa!
I like the Grifter theme. It seems pretty cool. It matches my personality. You do get a bonus to your intelligence, which I don't have, but... And it's similar to Outlaw in a way where it is kind of like a more criminal aspect, but different from Outlaw as well. They're trying to be the ones who really plan out the crimes and do things behind the scenes. When thinking of a Grifter, think of somebody like Lester from GTA 5. That always seedy sort of fella.
I need something done, you need to know something, so why not help each other? I gotta make some dough. So you're back in the game?
So if you pick the guard theme, it does give you a bonus to either your strength or your dexterity. It helps you with identifying certain threats that may happen if you are guarding, like a high value target, as well with being able to better defend them. A really good example of this would be the god, the legend himself, Paul Blart.
In contrast to the Grifter theme, you do also have the option of being a law officer, which gives you a bump to wisdom, and along with it you have several different theme abilities or bonuses you get later on down the line that can help you to better sniff out the bad guys and really turn your character into into a Judge Dredd or Florida Police.
Let me guess. Life. Death.
So the theme is being a noble sign. It gives you bonuses to your charisma, and it also gives you, knowledge of how to interact with high society. So if you are trying to talk to, like a fancy business connection, it'll help you navigate that so you don't look like an idiot. It also gives you 100 credits per week eventually that you can only spend on things to help you live at a higher level, and you can't actually spend on anything permanent except for if it's fancy clothes. It's basically just the ability to dab real hard on someone who picked the street rat theme. An example of this would be like Joffrey from Game of Thrones.
I am the king!
I like the Sensei theme. It gives you the ability to sort of become a lovable crackhead. You also get a bonus to your constitution, possibly because you're constantly filling yourself with new experience and meeting new people and things like that. And so with that, you become hardier. Along with that, it also helps out for your diplomacy checks later on, just to help you sort of get into or out of certain situations. Think of like Miss Frizzle from from Magic School Bus. How, yeah, sure, she was a rascal, but she was lovable.
Oh, good morning, class.
So the street rat theme gives you a bonus to dexterity, and it really helps you navigate more colorful neighborhoods. It's really good for giving you knowledge with local underground politics, or just sort of rules, like identifying, okay, this graffiti means this means that. It also helps you blend in to like a crowd, just so you're hiding in plain sight. A really good example of a street rat theme would be Little Annie.
Just screw any dough pot, Slimo.
I feel like one thing they sort of missed out on, which was a golden opportunity for Paizo here in this book, was they have the picture of Yasaki under Grifter and the picture of an android under Street Rat. Enemy monster, show them what I mean.
New race options start on page 16 and can show how differences in environment, different genetic variations, or different historical events can affect two members of the same race in different ways. So, for example, a human that grew up on a generational mining ship versus a human who grew up on Absalom Station could have different stats. This can be represented by having different racial abilities, different traits, even different feats, classes, and spells. However, if you do talk to your DM, I'm sure you can come up with an amicable solution for how, let's say, your Cathasan Mystic could be learning Yasaki's spell.
So if you wanted to pick the best race, human, obviously, you do have a couple options as far as genetic makeup and what different racial features that would give you. Two listed here are the Featherlight variation, where you've grown up in, say, a low gravity environment, and so you have a +4 to your dexterity, however a -2 to your strength, because you got bird bones from atrophy from being low to 0G for so long. Conversely to that, you do have the Gravity Dweller variation, where you get a +2 to strength, +2 to dex, but a -2 to your charisma. Probably because you're trying to maneuver around and lift things and basically live in a harsher environment. So certain things like niceties or more luxury things, basically things to soften yourself, aren't with them, so you're more gruff, like a dirty dwarf. An example of an alternative trait would be the Fortified trait, which gives your character a +2 racial bonus to overcoming radiation effects, as well as the sickened or nauseated condition is reduced by 1 round. One of the class options you get is, in relation to humans, is the Crusader connection. Basically, the gods also agree that human race is best race, and so they allow you to be a goodly, holy warrior. You can only take this if you are a goodly aligned human, but also you have to be aligned to a good god. So you can't be, oh, I'm good aligned, but also I follow the Devourer because let me do whatever I want. It doesn't exactly work that way, and this is just proof that the gods love humanity the most.
Oh, so basically like a space paladin?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, humans don't get any racially specific feats or spells. However, an example of a racial feat would be the Cathasan 4-armed hacker feat. What it does is that you need to have 4 hands and 1 skill in computer use. What it does is if you have 2 different hacking modules, you can simultaneously use all 4 of your hands to hack at a tremendous speed, and it allows you to hack twice as fast. So if a hack job was going to take 10 minutes, it now takes 5. It's basically the equivalent of like on NCIS where they're like, oh, quick, use half of the keyboard. But the only thing is you have to have 2 hacking modules or keyboards to plug in. An example of a race-specific spell would be the Lashunta spell Recall, which allows you to re-roll a failed knowledge check.
Like I said before, these aren't exactly hard and fast rules. If you have a decent case and a cool GM, they probably help you to make some changes to this. Like if you're a human and you want to pick up the Recall spell, you can probably learn it from a group of Lashuntas by doing a favor for them or helping them out in some way. Or if you're the Cathasa, if you're not a Cathasa and you want to pick up the fast hack, or the
4-armed hack.
Yeah, thank you, the 4-armed hack. You can probably just graft on some cybernetic limbs and take it from there, just with some training and probably some feats or ranks in
computers. Yeah,
just
General Grievous set up.
Yeah, there you go. These are recommendations for how it be, but it don't always gotta be like that. But sometimes it do. Alright, so with the Vanguard, they start on page 50 of this book, and they're cool because they are a martial class, so they get heavy armor, light armor, and shields is something new to the character operations manual. We'll get into that later, but basically they use their Constitution as their key ability modifier, and Constitution's already a great stat to pick up just because it helps you with health. And with that, they are melee based, but they don't have to have a high strength in order for their attacks to do damage because they're Entropic Strike and all their Constitution. It helps them control matter on a molecular level, because everything is basically power creep as far as described in the Starfinder. I don't know why. But it's really cool how it gives you that ability. Also, dexterity is recommended just so you don't get punched in the face while you're punching other people in the face. And so, I like it. I thought that it was going to be a really big, like, sort of beat boy sort of class. But instead it seems kind of like, not exactly a monk, but sort of like a different version of the Solarian, sort of.
Kind of, yeah. It's kind of the whole, like, power cosmic, but they screamed a lot about it, about, like, the flavor text.
But I like them, though. They're not one-to-one with the Solarian. They are their own totally different thing. But that's the closest juxtaposition that I can make, at least.
So the other class in here that I really like is the Witch Warper. It starts on page 60. It's a charisma-based spellcaster, which is kind of new and different. A good way to think about the Witch Warper is kind of like Elizabeth from BioShock Infinite. A lot of what they focus on is different ways that they can change the environment of the battlefield. A good example of one of these abilities is their Infinite Worlds ability, and what that does is it allows them that they can pick a 10-foot pocket of reality within 100 feet of them, and they can cause either an environmental or an instantaneous effect. Like it sounds, the environmental effect is something that's going to be a little bit longer lasting, where the instantaneous effect is going to be instantaneous.
It kind of happens.
Yeah. And how it works is that they use up a spell slot, and again, like I said, at that point they would choose if the effects can be environmental or instantaneous. An example is if you use a level 1 spell slot and you choose an environmental effect, it'll be something where it's like, in this universe the floor is clean, but in another universe someone spilled all their SpaghettiOs on the floor.
Oh no, Daddy's gonna spank them.
Yeah, or if they choose an instantaneous effect, it could be something where, in this universe the lights are normal, but in another universe someone left the lights on real high and now you're dazzled if you don't pass a fortitude save. Another cool thing about the Witch Warper is that they do get their own spell list. Again, it's all focused on changing different things about certain conditions. I like that they gave them their own list instead of saying, okay, well, they're going to get this Technomancer spell and they're going to get this mystic spell, and it's something where they can kind of choose at a later level as an ability, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, giving them their own spells with their own spells, it really makes them seem like a whole new class instead of something reskinned. So good job, Paizo.
So the third class they added in is the Biohacker. It's on page 40. It's really cool because it's a real science class, because obviously it's a science fiction game. But a lot of classes they have, besides like the mechanic or the soldier, they have a wee bit of magic. The Biohacker, it's just like a scientist.
It can be a lot of things, from your ship science officer, the medic that's helping your party on the ground. It can be Bones, or just your mad scientist if you don't want to play a pacifist. I'm glad they put that in the game. They have two things that are really cool they got going from. One is the custom micro lab. It consists of a basic med kit, which is good for every party to have, and also it doubles as a chemical analyzer, just in case you see some bludgeon to investigate or some weird goop growing on a tree that could lead you to furthering an investigation. It also helps create a bunch of things like serums and whatnot. I think that you got a kick out of this, right?
Yeah, it's really nice because you can make basically all the serums that are in like the list that Mystics can make. Check out our crafting video for more information, but it makes it so they aren't magic based. So, for example, if you want to make like a serum of heal, you could, instead of like, oh, well, you have to have this weird root and an Eye of Newt. That kind of rhymed. It can be like, hey, I'm just going to shove a bunch of methamphetamine and stem cells into this stim pack, so be all you can be, boy.
And it can help your party out during battle. Like, say you're not just making healing serums, but you want to make like helpful boosts or harmful serums to either be, hey, my soldier's fighting, well, here's a nice douse of ketamine, bam. Or if you want to use that inject level, hey, there goes a Cressy that's going to kill said soldier. Well, here's way too much ketamine. Bam.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it's the gun's called the injector weapons, which is nice for if you do want to inject someone with some sort of substance. It's nice that they do get proficiency with that, just because sometimes, like you were saying, soldier's all the way over there, but he needs to get a boost, and you don't want to go all the way over there because you're just a guy in like scrubs. You'll get shot, so you can do that. Also, just as an aside, thank God Cardi B doesn't have one of her hands on these injector weapons, or else we'd all be doomed.
Hey, and I don't have any more money to spare. But I like them a lot. I'm glad they decided to go with one more technological class in there, just to be able to give somebody who doesn't want to pick spells. Not that there's anything wrong with the biohacker in here, but just if they want to play a more level and toned down character, they have the option of this now too.
Yeah, just because it's a sci-fi game, but everything is kind of magic. I like that Paizo put their money where their mouth is, so not everything's like the whole Thor 1 thing where it's like, your ancestors called it magic, you would call it science. For us, it's a little bit of both.
Your ancestors called it magic, and you call it science. Well, I come from a place where they're one and the same thing.
I know we say that a lot, but that quote's basically the Marvel Disney movie version of, do you know what happens to a toad when they get struck by lightning? It's really nice to have just a purely scientific class besides the mechanic where it's like, I'm making a robot, or I'm putting a robot in me. So with this is actually where we are going to end the video. There's just too much in the character's operations manual to really do justice in one video without just sort of just doing a big scream. So there is going to be a part 2 coming up where we will talk about things like certain feats. We'll go over the spell list a little bit more, starship roles, and downtime activities.
Yeah, well, I hope that you guys like it, and please remember to like, comment, subscribe to this one. Thanks again for watching 20 Sided Night, and bye for now.
Oh, hang on, that's a nice shirt. I mean, it's nicer than the ones you usually find from the side of the road.
I told you that in confidence, you dick. Also, I didn't find this off the side of the road. I actually designed this shirt myself. And if you want a fabulous thing like this, if you want a cool design like this, or if you're a big old dorkosaurus like us, go to cnsportal.com. They got a whole bunch of cool nerd shit like shirts, they got beanbags, they got hats, they got a whole bunch of hoodies, they got a whole bunch of cool stuff. So do that, please. And I'll...
Hey you rascals, thank you for watching our video. Click here to subscribe, click here to watch one of our newer videos, and click here if you feel like watching something random. Have a good day.
No, Baby Yoda, don't. It's full of ketamine. Oh God, he can't hear me. He has the AirPods in.